Hello everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday to everybody. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I've had to come down to the allotment because I've got lots of things going on. I've actually not been here through a lot of the week with things going on at work, but managed to get up and get down this morning because I have got my sofa coming down this afternoon. So I've had to make space next door in the shed for my sofa when it comes down. Show you the space I've made, and I'll show you later on when I'm down with it. But I've just had a check on everything. Everything's taken over nicely. There's some more tomatoes to be harvested. There's still bits and pieces to do. The chilies are coming on fantastic, but I'll either show you that later on or I'll show you that later on in the week as well. Luckily enough, I'm getting the next couple of weekends off, so I know there's shows around over these next couple of weekends, starting this Saturday, so I just need to decide what I'm doing regards to which ones I'm going to, but I'm looking forward to it. Going off that, I've just measured my onions, and the largest one's sitting at 20.5 inches. It's not really putting much more weight on, so they'll be getting pulled for long. Really, they should have been up about 6 weeks ago. It all should have been up 6 weeks ago, but never mind. Right, so I'll show you in the shed, and then that's pretty much it from this morning. And we'll go home, have some breakfast, have a coffee, then get to work. So I'll show you in the shed where I'm at. So going into the shed here, I've made the room for the couch to go across the back there. So I'll have somewhere nice and comfy to sit, and me a nice recliner. And when I get the fire sorted out, the fires of course is going in that corner where all the junk and everything is. So I've still got some tidying up to do here, of course. I'll get the fire in, and this is the ongoing project for this coming winter. So I'll have somewhere nice and warm, and somewhere nice and warm to sit. On night time I'll be bringing the lamps into here. So I've got some light, or I'll be purchasing some lights, depends on what happens. But yeah, that's what's happening in here in any case. As I mentioned from last week's video, saving seeds, the sunflower seeds are drying off nicely inside here, so they're coming along alright. I'm also going to be doing some chilies. I'm going to do with peppers. I'm going to save the seeds on some tomatoes as well. Don't really need to, but I'm going to do it in any case. And there's a few other things I'm going to be saving, along with, like I say, as you know, the tubers and stuff like that from the dahlias. Dahlias are looking fantastic. I'll show you them before I shoot off as well. I did want to mention in regards to the flowers and stuff. I actually had a look on Groupon yesterday, and there's a couple of deals on there with regards to getting 72 plug plants over the winter. Some winter plants like pansies and stuff like that. For about, it was 15 quid for 72, so I jumped on that. And I also got some perennials as well, some hardy perennials. 72 once again with 13 quid. So I'm getting about 144 plug plants for 30 quid. So that's plenty of flowers for me to be playing with over the winter, and Leslie as well in the back garden. So might be worth checking out if you're interested for it. It's on Groupon, and so I just searched for plug plants. That's it. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do now. Probably just head off home. But I'll tell you what, I'll show you the dahlias before I shoot off. So come outside with me. So turn this corner, and bang, the dahlia plants are as big as me. These speckled mix are lovely. Now the bamboos, canes, are doing alright, but the dahlias are dahlia plants are getting that big. They're starting to shoot out the side, so I've kind of nearly lost my pathway here. So I'm having to tread over the top of these young dahlias here, so you can see that, of course, the speckled mix are the first three ones in. So you just know them ones, and we've got the ones down here as well. And there's ones there as well. I need to get a cover built for across the top of here, so that's another job to do next year, not off season. I don't know what this one is. I'll have to get the pictures and everything out, but that's going to be looking like a pretty one. And of course the ones at the back here, see they're much better in the day. obviously some water droplets on them. On the left side here. Just focus in, sorry about that. Back to the mignons and stuff like that. That's more speckled mix. Yeah, see, these are all just cheap ones. These are all just ones from the pound shop that I took cuttings from, and they've worked. No speckled mix there. It looks like that's going to be the same as what the one behind us was. So that's them ones there. I'll take it down to the bottom, and you can see the colour down there already. I'll take it down to the bottom and show you them. So as you can see, they've got lots of heads on now, lots of flowers, which is great. I'll shift these tomatoes. They look lovely then. I do like these speckled mix. These are nice big heads as well. The ones at the back there as well. I see I've got a lot of the same because all I did was just take cuttings from the same ones. Several of the same plants. And we've got them one down there as well. The cactus and the pom-pom dahlias. So I might, when I come back down later, I might take some flowers home as well. I haven't had a look at the pumpkin, but I'll probably do that next week. I say that sunflower is really strange. I've never seen nothing like that before. But never mind. I might as well show you the chilies and stuff while I'm here as well. It's the outside grapevine. It's romping away now. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with that. Into the pepper and chilli house. All the chilies are coming along canny in here. This one's starting to ripen off, as you can see. That's the cayenne. That was the first ones. We've got some patio sizzle at the back there. More cayenne. Yeah. Hot scotch. Still got no fruits on yet, but we're getting flowers on. And these jalapenos starting to get the fruits on the top now as well. There's the bottom, so you can see the ones on the bottom there. So we've plenty of plants. Might even have to cut these down next year. On this side, the peppers. Let's see what happens with these. We've got the California Wonder there. Then going to the back, I've got the Romano mixed. Obviously that massive one there. There's not other. I haven't seen any other ones, but I can't really get in at the minute because I've got these, which I need to get shifted out because they're no good. These are supposed, like I say, these are supposed to be long spag chilies, but I don't know if they've been cross-pollinated or what. But they're getting along, but they're not spaghetti chilies. So I don't know. I don't know what they are. I don't know how hot they're going to be, and nothing. So that's where everything's sitting at the minute. I have to admit as well, I'm not a chilli fan either. So I've just grown these for growing sake because I enjoy to grow. But they will be getting used. I'll see what happens how and when I use them. I've still got some dried chilli from last year. See what happens. The sprouts and things like that are across here. They'll be getting pulled, caterpillars on them, just to get rid of a lot. I'm more focusing on getting things started tidied up and shut down for the winter. So I'll start dismantling things and getting stuff ready to go and getting stuff covered, and I'll be getting some manure in. Manure the beds, cover them over, done. Done for the winter. So, right, well, I'm going to shut off. I'll see you later on. Enjoy your days. Obviously, you'll see this on Sunday, but I'm going to shoot off. I'll see you later on. I'm back. So, we're getting this couch down into the shed. Fits pretty well, to be honest. It's bigger than what I thought it was going to be. Downside is the couch that I was getting doesn't fit my house, so I'm stuck with 2 chairs. I'll have to come buy another couch. But at the minute I've got this in here. I'll show you what it's like at the minute. So into the shed, and I got my couch in here. So that's where that's gone. I see, just fits. Just the sides there as well. Get on it. I just need to sort out that side there. I can get my feet up like that. Put the fire on in the corner. That's me sorted and done. I just need to get that roof fixed. Then job's a good one. So that'll be October job. Get the roof sorted out. I'm going to get this whole thing sorted temporary for the winter. Because behind me here, which I'll show you. Behind me, there's gaps forming in the windows. Gaps forming in there, so it looks like this whole thing at this side is pushing across that way. So this whole extension, what I built, I think it was last year or the year before, it's showing that amateurish but DIY style. It's the whole roof needs replacing. I need a new roof section put on, and I need everything structurally sound. So basically, I think, like I say, I think a new roof will be in order. That should, and I'll just fix the back section as well, because I like the way the back section is. But I've got people who I can talk to about that and see what they say. But at the minute, this couch is in. Next step will be get the fire in once I tidy that section up on that side. But it's in, it's done. Move on to the next thing. I've got somewhere it's lovely and comfy to sit when I come down here when the fire's on. Get the lights in here sorted. So time to get back home. That's me done for Wednesday. It's Thursday today. Sorry. I'll catch up with you at the weekend, and we'll see what I'm getting up to the weekend. See you then. Hello everybody. Oh, Elizabeth's run away. She's too far away. Oh, me and Elizabeth have got lots of things getting on today. We're going to a leek show today. We're going over our first leek show to see how everybody else has done this year. But before we head off down there, what day is it today? It's Saturday the day, isn't it? Yeah. I forgot to tell you, it's Saturday the day. So yeah, we're heading off to the leek show.
Not yesterday, but the day afterwards wasn't today, so it must be.
Right, okay then. So we are come down to the allotment as we have got some onions to pull. So there's a few of these onions which are going to get pulled now because they've stopped growing and it's now time to pull them. I'm going to have a look at the leeks as well, see how they're getting on, but other than that, we'll see how the day goes by. So I'll put you down from there, I'll put you somewhere else, and we'll see what happens with these onions because I'm going to measure them before I pull them up. So bring us down from there, drop this one. And we'll see how big these onions are getting so far, so we've got a record to set for next year as well. Okay, so we're going to start measuring these onions and pulling them out. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll pull them out, then I'll measure them inside the greenhouse, because there's no point in just measuring one by one. So I'm going to start by removing the canes, and then we'll get everything else sorted out. So me and Elizabeth will pop you into super fast speed, won't we?
Yeah.
So watch what we're doing, we'll see how we'll get all these done now. Okay everybody, that's all of them lifted up. So the next step is to prepare them for either show or for storage, which pretty much the same thing really. So what we'll do is, this is the biggest one I've got here. We'll measure it shortly, but as you can see, what I've done is I've chopped the top off a couple of inches from where the top is. What that is, this will dry off, grate out their skin, then I can tie it up with some raffia, which is called whipping it, or whipping it. And I'll place that in some sawdust to stop the bottom from getting any moisture from rotting, because that's what happened to the one that I took for practice. So what we're going to do here is, I've got my sharp secateurs. I've got another one there which is already done. Put that aside there. There you go. So this one here, I'll just
snip off the top there.
Snip off the top. Just pop that down the side. Same with this one here.
Snip, snap.
Snip, snip. Same with this one here.
But why is it in that one?
Snipping them all, sweetheart.
Why?
Because I'm explaining why. Because this is how you get them ready for the store. So that is all of them snipped off.
Now we need to peel.
So what now is, you can see here, I need to dry it to clean them off, but you see this started to split on the inside. So what I need to do is peel them off.
So, yeah, was correct.
You are correct, Elizabeth. Yes, you are correct. Because it's split, you need to peel it. It's already started developing a dry skin on the outside.
Yes.
No, Don, I don't need any gloves. I'm fine, thank you. So just carry on. Try to get not the damage to. Well, it doesn't really make a difference for the outer skin because that's already cracked on there. So there's another one there. Just the outside. So like I say, it's already dried off the outside one. That's what you want it to look like.
It looks like snow's coming down.
Looks like snow's coming down, does it, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Because that one's already split as well, which is a shame. Because this is where the thicker stuff comes. You can keep that, like I've mentioned in the past. For tea.
Yeah, it was everything make you cry. That would be.
Onions do make it cry. I've chopped one of these. I chopped one of the big ones up, and it didn't half make us cry. I was in tears. Some people cried, and some people don't. So there we go. That's that done. Just get it from the bottom.
I cry, don't I?
You do, but that's other things. So that's that done. Not the best light, but you can see it's all white. I'll just snip the bottom off. Try the best to snip the bottom off. Now I'm not going to snip it all the way to the base. So I believe that's where I started having problems the last time. So go across top there. I need to sharpen them. Anyhow, I'll wipe that off, I'll wash it off. But that's that done. Now we'll have an onion ready to go to sit and wait to dry off. So I'm going to get on with these ones and do them all for these ones, and I'll show you the outcome of them afterwards. Well, that's them. That's the onions for 2018. So we've got the biggest one here, and the rest are more uniform, apart from these two here. These two here are no good. So them two will be going, putting one side, and they'll be taken home and given away for to be eaten. I've got promised a couple out to a friend of mine. So I'm going to measure this one, I'm going to measure these 5, and we'll see what sizes we've come with. That'll be a benchmark for next year. Okay, so let's see what size we have here. So if I bring this all the way around, we have, get the fattest bit, so we've got 20.5. As you can see there, it's 20.5 inches. It's the biggest one I've grown this year. So let's see what other sizes we have here. Keep that one. Next biggest, this feels heavier than that one there. Next biggest size one. Let's move this out of the way. $19.5. So not too far off from each other, but quite happy with them. So there's the benchmark for next year. I'll get these sorted out, and then I'm going to head off up to the show. So me and Elizabeth will see what we can get sorted out up there, and we might do some recording up there. If not, I'll take some pictures and show you some pictures in between sections. Some size like across the way, that one. Starting from last to first. Well, that was the first show. There wasn't very many people there. There wasn't very many showings neither. But A lot of people have had problems this year, but it was nice to have a look and come down and see what people have put in basically. There were some kind of size onions there, like much bigger than the ones I've grown. Good, these double, triple size them, but it gives us a nice indication to see how things have been going and see what prepare or see what can be put in for what people put in for their shows and stuff like that. With the leeks, there were some of them there which were, a lot of them were thrip damage and stuff like that, which, like I say, not everything's perfect, not everybody's perfect. Like I say, this is just a small open show. So as you've seen there, there's some decent stuff there. I'm going to look out for the next show, wherever it may be. I've taken a few pictures and spoken to a few people here, and there is actually another one here in a couple of weeks' time, so might pop back. So see how things go with that. I'm going to head back home now. I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the allotment tomorrow. What I've done is I've taken them onions home, prepared them. I'm going to pop them in the airing cupboard at home, where it's cool and dry. Then I'm going to see what else I can get sorted out at home basically. So if I don't see you today, I'll see you tomorrow. Hello everybody, it's Sunday, Sunday afternoon now. I've come down and I've got to tidy up, so I'm going to make a start on next door. It is raining slightly, drizzling, and I've actually left me jacket at home, so I've had to wear the old man jacket basically. So I'm going to have a look next door to see what needs tidying up. I'm going to sort out the top tunnel after pulling them onions as well. I did pull this leek yesterday. Because as you can see, if I hold it up, it's just shut off sideways, so that's it's been pulled. It's going to be used for eating basically. So I'm going to see what needs to be done next door. I'm going to get rid of all the weeds, even in the rain, because it needs doing. Then I'll see what else I can get on with. So I'll go and do that, then I'll show you what's happening next door, because I know I haven't showed you next door for a little while. So I'm going to get cracked on with that, then I'll see you once I've sorted that out. Well, the weather's taking a turn for the worst, and it's absolutely hoying it down from the heavens. It's raining really badly. Do you know how we were complaining that it wasn't raining for weeks and weeks on end? I can't get outdone now, because when I do have days off, it rains. Cannot win, you cannot win. I've been in the polytunnel. I'll show you that in a second. I just wanted to show you, I've pulled up the rest of the onions. So these were the Peter Glazebrook onions, which were meant to be the huge giant ones, which I didn't really look after very well, but I managed to save 3 out of 15. So they're good eaters, they will be good eaters. And I'll just start afresh from next year, but still decent onions for the pot. I also noticed one of my leeks, the best looking one, in my opinion, the best looking one, it burst through a few flags, so I've pulled it out, and this is it here. So it is slightly twisted. It hasn't went to seed. It's pretty clean. You can see from the early signs from the thrip, still a few on there, still bits on there as well. But this one here is just over 13.5 inches round the bottom. It's very tall because I've had to remove the flags, and it's just over 6 inches to the button. So for a show that will be no good. So as you can see on the bottom as well, I've actually pulled a few flags off. There's been about four or five flags I've had to remove. But that was my best looking one. That is burst. I can feel it on the outside starting to bulbous on the inside as well, so it's getting ready to pop. Once one goes, it goes right through. So I've lifted it now. I'll take this one home, and I've also got this one which I pulled the other day, which I showed you before, so I've got that one to take home. So, and I've got a few more to pull up next door as well, so we're going to slow cook some of these, but I'm pleased with how these have gotten. They're the biggest leeks I've grown. It's a benchmark for next year, and we'll see how we'll get on from there with fresh plants, better plants, better setup now. I'm not messing about with the polytunnel. I'm looking forward already to next year as well, so looking forward to the giant onions, looking forward to the big leeks as well. Now when I seen yesterday, just before I shoot off back again, when I seen yesterday, them onions were massive. I've never stood in front of a really big onion before, and I couldn't believe the size of them. They were ginormous. I mean, 6 kilograms. That is crazy. That's like £14. No, 14, 15, 16 pounds, something like that. I did do the calculations yesterday. They're really, really big. Now, obviously, they take a lot of care and a lot of equipment. Some people do use a lot of equipment with them as well. I don't have the funds for that at the moment, but it's something that I might look into in the future. But I'll give a good go with the exhibition onions next year, and I'll have a good go with the leeks as well to see if I can do any better. Because going off the local shows, what I went to yesterday, I feel I can put something in there. So you've got to start somewhere, and like a lot of the guys were telling us yesterday, if you're not, you can't win out, you can't place anywhere if you didn't put an out in. So some of the stuff that I seen yesterday, just unfortunately, there was a lot of it damaged and stuff like that, but I feel as though I could have put something in there and it wouldn't have come last. So I don't regret not putting anything in, but I know my benchmark for next year, and that's the whole reason I wasn't showing anything this year. But those plans might have changed. But I'll tell you more about that possibly next week. See what happens. So I might be going back on my word from what I originally said, but we'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to go back next door and carry on tidying up. I'll show you through there in a second. Once I get sorted out. Right, it's time to get away. I'll show you next door and I'll show you in the tunnel now. Then I'll see what I get up to tomorrow. But for this week, I'll show you what's happening on the garden. In the polytunnel, as you can see, I still got a few leeks in here. They're not the best. They've got the high buttons and things, but they'll be good eaters. Once again, I've got a couple here. There's another one that's split. I've just noticed down there. So when I say split, as you can see, it's burst down the middle there. So I'll pull that out before I'll even take that home as well. I've got them two still covered up. They're short. That one might be all right. And I've taken the two out of there. And on this side, what I've done is I've taken up the sheeting, the black and white plastic, and I've brought the tomatoes that were outside to indoors. These are the suckers that I took from the big boy tomatoes, and the other ones I got off Dave. I've got off Dave's show. I've also got a Shirley clone at the back there as well. So I'm going to put them in the ground and see how they get on. Why not? I've got space available. I've put the Betty Black leek into the ground from the bucket. It's a mess. I apologise for that, Keith. I haven't taken very good care of these three. I've got the other one there and another one outside as well. So yeah, apologies about that. And a couple of CSXs in the back there. I've just spotted one of these beefsteak tomatoes is ready at the back, so I'll get that and I'll take that home. Outside, buds are starting to form. There you go. There's the first yellow one from the mother plant of that bush chrysanthemum. And now they're all starting to bud up as well. And the bush chrysanthemums there, so they'll be coming up lovely in yellow shortly. Dahlias, as you've already seen, they're coming up great as well. And so all the ones down the bottom, you can see there, colour down there is fantastic. But you've already seen them. That's sorted out. Cauliflowers are coming up canny. All of these flowers, the calendula, are taking over again. It'll be time to pull all them out shortly in replacement for the winter bulbs. So right, that's pretty much it, what's going on in the garden. I'll take you next door and see how things are getting on next. So in next door, these are the Swedes that I put in a little bit later, alongside the spring cabbage that I got. There you go. So these were just spare plants I put in. I'm pleased I put them in here. And I've got the spring cabbage that I got off John as well. So they're coming along canny. They don't look like they've been touched by the caterpillars. Coming down the bottom, I need to do some weeding down here. Very badly need to do some weeding. The pumpkin that I put in is starting to get mildew, so I'll have to remove some of them the leaves and give it a spray with milk and water mix. Just turn that around to go back in there and we'll see what I get off there. I popped the marrow in here. I'm just going to leave that. It's too late to mess about with it in any case. I've got all of this. This is where I put the main crop potatoes, which I've not taken off because of the weed killer that was put on the ground prior. I need to get all of these weeds cleared out. That's a task to be done on my next day off. So I need to get all the way down there done as well for the new flowers coming. So I've got all of this to tidy up and cover. Carrots are doing alright. So I've got some carrots there. just dribs and drabs. Once again, I need to tidy all of this up, and the peas, they've disappeared beyond the weeds as well. Melon, outside melon, it's alright. I need to put something underneath it, but might get a little melon off that. It's still growing, still going down here as well. Cauliflowers, different ones I've got here. Some of them had caterpillars on, but some of them I've managed to save. I mean, that one there, that's bolted there. There's one that's bolted. There's some caterpillars on, I'll sort them out. Absolutely covered caterpillar snip, that one. That one's bolted. On the side, and I'm a bit disappointed because my giants have been caught by the caterpillars as well. So next year, definitely need to get better netting and net these up properly. They haven't touched the red ones, like the red ones I got off Gary Cooper, still a good DNR rate. They're starting to form a heart on underneath there. So, but they've decimated that one there, and they've decimated that one there as well, which is a shame. Both lessons learned for next year. Oh, I nearly slipped on my backside there. The leeks that I put in here have all went to seed. It's a bit of a mess. The chrysanthemums that I took for cuttings, there's a few flowers on there. I see these are all pink. I've got the bush chrysanthemums there as well, which are there by mistake. So there we'll go with some pink chrysanthemums there. Some lighter ones there as well. I will find the yellow ones. I'm still waiting for the rest to bud up and show their faces. I have done a bit of tidying up down here. So, got onions, exhibition onions in here. They're still growing, that's the main thing. Could be good eaters. Pretty much given up with them in any case. Main crop potatoes. I need to chop the tops off them as they're starting to die back, and they can just be left in the ground until I will need them. Come on this side, I have cleared out this section as well, down here, and also the outdoor tomatoes. I'm doing alright. I need to stake them up a bit better, like, but I've got plenty of toms on there. So the weather we've had's been alright, apart from this one at the end here, I've just spotted it's got actually got blossom end rot on them. Outside, strange. Carrots, that's on the far side. Before I go over there, I'll show you. We've got the strawberries here. Now, Ronnie's asked us to take runners off these, to which I can see there's a couple there, so I'll get them into some pots, but I've also got ones down here which I'll take out and pot on when I get a chance. So they're all fresh growth, which I'll do for next year. I'll show you them. And I'll tell you another thing now, this rhubarb just continues on growing. I might take some, if I get some straight stalks, I might take some to Harrogate with us. I'll show them. I'm just trying to pick to see what I can take with us for Harrogate, but like I say, I'll update you with all that shortly, because I've been pretty much talked into it. Under here is a mess, I need to get all that tidied up. There's still some carrots in there as well, but I'll be growing my carrots in these next year. I'll not be growing carrots in the ground. I'll grow parsnips in the bottom where the carrots are. I've got the carrots down there. I'll grow parsnips in there, and I'll grow the carrots in here. And I've also got some buckets for the carrots as well, which I'll grow them in then as well next year. But that's what's going on in here. Not a lot. A lot of work needs to be done in here, which I will get sorted. For me, I'll see you next week. See what I can get done. I'm off next weekend, so I will be getting a lot of work done next week, and hopefully the rain does bugger off, basically, because I've had enough of it now. Every time I have a day off it rains, so I will be getting that sorted out when it's next week. But for the time being, I'm going to go into my shed, sit in my chair and chill out. So for me, see you next week. Watch what you are doing, enjoy your shows wherever you're going to, and hope you've enjoyed this week's video. So catch you next time.